us as a company. We've been operating, to varying degrees of success, I guess, since 2016. It was last year that, we pivoted the model to really think about what was important and why you guys use Plutus, right? Because it wasn't really the DEX, it wasn't really a bunch of other stuff that, the white paper was based on. It was about earning rewards, right? And making spending more rewarding. So really, we realized last year what we need to build is really American Express 3.0, right? That's really the goal, right? So we pivoted the model last year. It took us a little bit of time to get the product right. We launched that, I don't know, like 8 weeks ago. The time is just, this time warp, it's all constant, but we launched it, and honestly, the response has been overwhelming. We have a wait list so long, I can't even begin to describe how many angry telegrams I get when people are waiting for their cards. So thanks very much for being patient. In that, we scaled our team to we're about 36 people now, which is nuts considering. It was me, Dan, and a Telegram channel for the first couple of years, and the fact that we look around and we have a product team and we have a customer service team, and it's really cool. So thanks for your support. Move on to the next little bit. So talking about the traction. So for those of you who I haven't told, we're raising our Series A at the moment at Plutus, which is pretty cool. We have some of the largest funds, in the world speaking to us. Guys like Pantera, Vision Fund, Mubadala, Portage. It's amazing. I never thought I would, sit down with the PMs and the principals at these companies, right? And that's testament to I guess what we do, right, on a daily basis. Sorry, guys. I'm shouting, but it's difficult. So we've got. So the numbers are out of active users, because that's all people really care about. We have 40% of people who are active paying for our subscriptions, which is massive. And if you look at a company like there's a big German fintech who I won't name, they're only at 15%, right? So like the largest German fintechs at 50%, we're almost at 40%. And we haven't even got going yet, because everything we do is viral. So when we get proper funding, you're gonna see like hockey stick growth, right, from Plutus in the next 18 months. You guys like to spend money, we can see. So since we launched subs, we did 17 million on the cards across the platform. This month we're at 21 million, which is huge. Like these are insane numbers, and the fact that every active user is tapping the card 60 times a month means that you guys are using it as your first card.
Yeah.
Which is cool, right? And what we'd like to do is get more bank-like, so you guys don't even have to go to HSBC then come to Plutus. You just come to Plutus first.
Alright.
And so I wanted to touch about what's happening with the crypto winter and the current market environment. Yeah. We're at max. Trust me, guys, I'm shouting. Is that better? Shit, sorry. The last thing I will say is that, and sorry that you guys missed it because it was the gems, was that I think the model of exchanges is in danger if you're a pure exchange, because obviously asset prices are down. You've got less people are interested because they've been burnt. So guys like Coinbase, etc., I won't name all of them. Like their business model's in jeopardy. But with us, like people still need to spend money, right? Because our core is actually the rewards and spending. So we feel like we're going to see like a lot of traction in the next couple of years, and we're really excited about it. And Dan, over to you. That's my bit. Yeah.
Massive point. Okay, just quick on the product, the roadmap.
What? Am I
Sorry about the acoustics, guys. I apologize again.
Okay. You did?
just talk into it like that. It's fine.
Like that?
Yeah.
Right, okay. Can anyone hear me? Some people can, that's good enough. Okay. Right, okay, so I got probably... It's up, I think. Yeah, it's up, cool. I've probably got the most exciting piece because I get to talk about what we're doing next and what we're doing in the product world. So if I look at, I kind of get to see that whole area, what we're doing in the product space, what we're doing next, what's coming and what we're kind of thinking about. Before I jump into too much detail, I want to kind of give you guys an idea of how we approach things. So from the product side, we actually kind of consider these two things. I'm standing in front of it. We consider these two things before we do anything in the product world. Step over here. So we always look at, are we enhancing the customer experience? Are we making things easier for you guys? And are we driving our product forward? So whenever we're doing something, these are the two things that we're looking at. So some examples like Rewards 2.0, the new app, these are all areas that we said, actually, before we do this, is this thing enhancing the product experience or is this driving our app forward? So just something to keep in mind when we're looking at what we're developing and what we're doing next. What we are doing next is a web app, so that's kind of our next big thing on our roadmap. So we updated the mobile app a couple of months ago and we spent a lot of time really honing in on some areas such as the onboarding experience, the payments and subscription side, the Rewards 2.0 side, the perks, as well as the profile and information. So this is an area that we thought, actually, we've now got a bit of a disconnected journey. We can see really well how we do this on mobile, but we want to make that consistent with web. So our first sort of port of call this quarter is looking at how we make the web consistent with the app, how we really bring that new level of design into the website. After that, we've got transactions. So transactions are like the cornerstone, stand in front of it again, are the cornerstone of everything that you do with your card, right? If you can't make transactions, you can't get rewards. So we want to make the transactions as exciting as possible. By doing that, what we mean is we want to start incorporating company logos into our transaction history. We also want to make it so you can drill down into transactions. So some of the concepts we've come up with, which you won't be able to see at the back, is actually being able to press on a transaction and see the important information about that transaction on the screen. So that could be things like what the transaction amount was, when and where it happened, what reward you got for that. And again, you probably can't see this at the back, but in this example, Starbucks, £10, it was a perk, so I got 100%, and what my clue back for that was. So we're working with partners to try and make the transactions a lot more exciting, a lot more engaging, and combine those two bits of key information, what you're spending and what you're getting rewarded, back into one place. Decks. So Decks on mobile for the EEA. It's a tricky one. So we turned off the Decks when we did our mobile update. We are going to bring it back for the EEA. This was a bit of a miss by people who are using it. Decks in the UK is still sort of delayed until we get the FCA feedback, but the Decks in the EEA we will be re-enabling. We turned it off because we wanted to give it the best overhaul we could. We wanted to really integrate with our providers, and that way of sharing your secret seed phrase that you do at the minute isn't ideal. We want to really integrate with people, with providers, and make this easier to do. So we turned it off to make that journey better. So the way that we're bringing it back, we've given it a UI overhaul, we're making the process easier, but we're also integrating directly with wallet partners, so you can do sign-in transactions directly from your wallet rather than from inside the app. Takes a lot of effort to shout. Right, improving cards, so this is a big one too. So working with a new card provider, we are looking at digital cards. So we are really wanting to push forward on this side. Physical cards are cool, they're good to look at, but they don't speed up the time it takes from completing onboarding to making a purchase. So we are looking at going digital first. By doing that, it means that you will be issued with a digital card and you can decide whether you want a physical card. With a digital card, you can use it online, you can add it to a service like Curve, you can kind of have it there and about, and then you can order your physical card if you want to have one. We're also going to update the card management experience. So at the minute you can freeze and delete your card. I think that's pretty much all you can do. So we want to make that better and make cards lockable, make it so you can issue a new digital card if you need to. For those who aren't aware, a digital card is essentially a carbon copy of a real card with the same card number expiry date. It's at the bottom. Just there. Finally, we also want to integrate, and we're working to integrate directly with Apple Pay and Google Pay. It pains me as a product person to see that we have to use Curve to get into the Apple Pay space. So we're also going to work with our new partners to try and get our card into your Apple Pay wallets. And then fairly sure that Jasper or Dan will talk about this in a second, the bank-like focus. So we are really trying to focus more on the banking side of what we're doing, enabling things like direct debits, enabling direct card top-ups, and then also being able to receive funds from other people. Also really making strides into open banking. So with our new partner, we will be able to kind of pick these features up and move with them. The idea of getting rewards on my rent or mortgage sounds great compared to where I am at the minute. And that's it. That's a lightning round on the product. I'll be around in the group. Please feel it, grab me and ask me questions. I'll hand over to Dan.
Alright, guys.
Yeah.
Hello.
Alright, guys, we had a beautiful pitch plan for everyone, but I know a lot of people in the back cannot hear us, so I'll keep it very short and stick to the point because, the more detailed version I'll put it out in a Twitter Spaces session or put out in a blog or record a video later on so everybody can understand the whole vision that I wanted to talk about later on. But I'll jump straight to the point, but before I do that I want to kind of do my own little introduction because a lot of people in the industry don't know who I am and how I got in there because some of you follow me on Twitter and you see my like controversial tweets and so on about the rest of the industry. So I want to kind of give a background context of why I know what I know and why I say these things, what I do. I got into the industry when Bitcoin was $7 a piece, and somebody said to me, you know, you can go do XYZ online, and I thought, okay, why not? So at the time, I got in, bought some, like a small amount, and forgot about it for a year, and a year later it went $100,000, and obviously I'm like kind of in a state of shock, but instead of going out and buying cars and spending my money, I decided to, okay, how about the narrative at the time was build a shovel instead of trying to go look for the gold like the back in the days. So I was like, okay, you know what, I'll dig my profits and turn it into like a kind of Bitcoin exchange at the time. As soon as I was about to do that, Mt. Gox crashed and I lost all the money that I had in Mt. Gox. So I was like, I learned how everything that is wrong with the industry from very early on, like 2013-14, kind of a bull and bear cycle. So from the back of that, I was like, okay, you know, Bitcoin exchange is the one thing to do. And then I created one and I ran it for about a year and a half. But then I realized to have a successful exchange, you have to be really corrupt and do things that normally, you know, would benefit you, but not the end user. And also you have a big bullseye on you from like hackers who's always trying to get into your system and steal your money. So running that was the most stressful business for a year and a half. So while I was doing that, I learned a few things that everybody needs. Running an exchange, opening one was like a kind of a running theme at the time, but everybody wanted to spend Bitcoin, the merchants didn't want to accept it, and that was the biggest gap. So henceforth came about Plutus, the idea of Plutus, and I realized, you know, there's technologies available for us to allow us to spend. Does this even work, or should I just
You have to like put it on your lips.
So I realized the technology was available to help us make this happen. So the idea of Plutus came around. I wrote a blog post about it in 2015. It went viral on Reddit. And a year later, we managed to get the support, raise funding on the back of that, $1 million, which we kind of spent very prudently. And then the next bull cycle helped us to fund our business literally for the next 5 years and deal with the regulators and so on, and be able to finally bring our vision to market in 2019. 4 or 5 years later, and that enabled competitors to come and copy our business model because we were the first one and take a lead. But however, what they didn't do was put a lot of thought process into their business model, which is now what you can start seeing a lot of copycat card companies are like suffering through different things and so on. Whereas the Plutus doesn't have the same problem because we focus, our business was always the business model, never was the token. So token is something that could bring value to our customers, but not to us as the founders of the company. So we want our revenue model to be our main kind of source of income. So what we've done is we have 2-3 different models and have subscription as our main source of revenue. But we also have affiliate partnerships and many of the kind of small fees that we charge to our customers. But it's done in a way that people are happy to use us, and that's why you guys are here, because you know we're not like kind of a Bitcoin or any of these other 100,000 coins that are out there that the numbers go up and people get rich and they buy a Lambo and they come in, they respect the founders. I believe like after having spoken to all of you guys individually, I feel that you guys are here because of the love of the product and how we behave as a company and as founders to make this happen. So yeah, so that's what we created, and the Plutus essentially is an app that it improves your day-to-day spending experience with the card, which no other bank would allow. You can't get the same kind of feeling with it, even when you spend it with an American Express. American Express would give you 0.01 pence on every pound you spend, whereas we give you 3%, which is obviously 3 pence. And it sounds small, but over time, it adds up. And like, for example, whereas Dave, I mean, he earns like maybe $10,000 worth of coins in the last 1 year. So there he is, just right there. So yeah, I mean, I know we have a lot of customers who do that, and that's like really nice to see, and that's why you guys are here. And I'm really happy that what we built, you know, at Plutus. So the vision has always been to create a bank. We want to obtain our banking license because it reduces the cost we can increase our profit margins and the cost of business and so on. But we've also found a way to work with certain partners to be able to provide a bank like features without actually becoming a bank first. So what we've done is partner with few new partners, which will be, we haven't announced a name yet, but will be throughout the next few months. But what we'll do is we'll enable us to offer direct debits, and you can earn your salary into your account, and the best part is earning rewards on your direct debits instead of having to spend with your card. So it's essentially yes.
Yeah.
Really, yes. So this is like a game changer for us because we know an average Joe, like you guys are pretty crypto savvy or tech savvy, and but you guys are like early on customers, but we want to get to millions of users all around the world. But for an average customer, they don't know these things, so we want to make it as simple and easy to use as possible.
Mass adoption.
So that's the future aim, and I believe that we will get there now that with the new partnerships that we have. And the roadmap that Matt already covered, all the things that we're trying to achieve. But expanding worldwide is also a goal. But some would say, look, try to conquer England and Europe first, where you are. Yes, they are right, but also we believe that because there's so much demand from other users, we first have to get the whole crypto industry and the tech-savvy people within us, the cool people. Then the average person will start joining us.
Yeah.
So that's why we partner with a company called PPV, which essentially gives us licensing and approvals to issue our cards in the USA. So we're going to be better than the bank, not just in the UK and Europe, but also in the USA by the end of this year, starting from early first half of the next year.
Yes.
So that's essentially what we've done in the last few weeks, and we can't wait because
We signed that last week.
Yes. Go on.
So yeah,
Mass
it's
adoption.
really nice to be able to share that with you, because I know you guys are here not because the numbers are going up again. It's because I feel like you guys also want us to see us succeed as well. Yeah. And like again, we've been in the industry for longer than a lot of people who have joined the industry, but we don't drive around in a Lambo.
Yeah.
We wear a swatchboard. And it's intentional because tokens have never been our way of making money, because it's so easier to get a couple of bots and put like 100K and make our coin value go up 10 times more. But that's what everybody else does. But because as an insider, we knew that's what happens everywhere else. We decided not to do that because our business model is the business, the revenue, which we will prove by in longevity. By with the history books write about us, they will say these are the companies which did things right compared to Crypto.com, BlockFi, Nexo, and all these bonsais which are falling apart in front of everyone. And I'm so happy to see that happen, because these companies, not because I want them to see them go down, because the way their business model works is against you, the cost people.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm against them. But anybody who works hard for their businesses, I want to see them flourish. But this is something like I get attacked on Twitter about this, but hey, like there's some people, like for example, Dave was telling me earlier that I say because of my tweets he saved a lot of money because he had coins locked up in Celsius. I'm happy, that's just why I do what I do. So guys, this is us. So I mean, if any questions, I know people in the back probably haven't been able to hear us, but you guys in the front, like we are here, all of us. So if you have questions, then please fire away.
Thank you.
That's it. Deuces, guys.
Cheers. Thank you.
I need to clap for myself.
No,
I just want
it's
to
yours.
Q&A.